Hello, everyone. It's Kirk. Welcome back to Kirk's Journeys. Today is day 39. It is Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. It's a milestone in my journey today. So we'll talk a little bit about this. But first, I would love it if you would like, subscribe, share, comment, and let me know if this journey is helping you, what you're going through. I'm making this channel. I feel the Lord has led me to make this channel to help people, and I'm not advertising, putting it anywhere. I'm just praying that the Lord puts it in front of people that need to see it for encouragement. And I want to give you daily encouragement and updates on my life, and what's going on in my separation and my walk with Christ. So anyway, today is the Super Bowl. So I'm about to head out in about an hour and a half to my in-laws, where we're going to try this again. If you watched my video, my testimony video, it's about 40 minutes long. It's back a little bit. There's only 40 videos on this channel, because I made a couple last summer before I started this January 1st, this daily video series. But yeah, Super Bowl Sunday was the day a year ago where I thought my wife and I were slowly starting to reconcile after I had left. I went to the Super Bowl and she had her wedding rings off. Even though I thought for weeks things were going fine. And I was like, oh, I'm the one that had left, if you didn't know. And we started kind of going out. We went to meals together, the family. We were all getting together as a family and doing things. And organically, I thought it was going that way. And about a week before the Super Bowl or so, she started not wanting to get together, just out of the blue. And I didn't realize that was how the Lord was going to use things to bring me back to him. But anyway, you can watch my testimony video about all of that. So, when I saw the rings, I left. And my son's favorite team, the Eagles, were in the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl, and I wasn't there to celebrate. So another mistake I made, but it was just too emotional and too raw and too hard to be there last year. This year, it's a year later. Things are different. Things aren't fixed. But, I was invited out to watch the Super Bowl. So we're going to watch the Super Bowl tonight, have some good snacks and just some fun times together. And it'll be a better year, better Super Bowl this year. And I'm still continuing to pray for the Lord to continue working on reconciling us. So what I wanted to talk about, though, was my mindset has shifted even in my life recently, too. I've been praying and asking the Lord what he wants me to do, what he wants me to know about this situation, and some things. And just like I've talked about for a few days now, boundaries with things, with who I've become. I'm totally praying for our family to be restored, but I also, most importantly, want God's will to be done. And you can pray for reconciliation, and it's one of those things to love like Christ loves the church, but it's also good for you to not be a doormat. You can love, but set boundaries. And it's a rough time. And I see my wife through the Lord's eyes, how he sees her, and he loves her. At the same time, I'm not wanting to be taken advantage of. So I'm totally fine with, like, a lot of time, whenever we go out to eat, we go out, we go eat, and then I give the kids a hug, and then they take off, or I go up to the house and I bring food, and sometimes there's just no reciprocation, and in the stage she's in, or what she's dealing with. I'm loving her, but at the same time, I'm okay if she's like, if I say, do you want to go to lunch today? Today she was like, no, I got to cook snacks for the Super Bowl. That's fine. Other times, recently we've talked about going out to eat, and she's kind of like, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm kind of tired, and the kids and I'm fine with that. I'm like, okay, I'll drop you guys off at the house. I'm there for you and I love you, And it's the same with friendships, with family members. Um, it gets to a point where you can love somebody, but some people, places, things can take advantage of you, like your opinion doesn't matter, and you can only give, and pour, when your cup is filled. And the Lord fills my cup, and I'm so appreciative to the Lord. But you can't pour when your cup is empty. So I really have to rely on the Lord to love through me. I know this may sound like it's going all over the place, but the verse I want to read to you today is Mark 1:35-38. And it's the Jesus and the disciples were preaching in Galilee. And it says, "Now in the morning, having risen a long while before daylight, he went out and departed to a solitary place, and there he prayed." And this is Jesus. "And Simon and those who were with him searched for him. When they found him, they said to him, 'Everyone is looking for you.' But he said to them, 'Let us go into the next towns, that I may preach there also, because for this purpose I have come forth.'" So it's showing that even though Jesus wanted everybody to hear his word, he wanted everybody to come to the faith, he loved everybody and wanted everybody to come to a saving knowledge of Christ and follow him. People weren't receptive. They weren't listening. They weren't hearing. They weren't reciprocating. So, there was times where Jesus says, "Okay, I'm going to go out by myself. I'm going to take some time for myself. I'm going to set a boundary." And then when the disciples found him, they said, "Hey, everybody's looking for you." He says, "Let's move on to the next town, because that's what I'm here for." So don't lose yourself. I guess I would encourage you, don't lose yourself in the journey. And whether it comes for friends, family members, spouse, you know, um, you need to take care of yourself. And I try to work on myself. I was watching some videos online, and they talk about the pies. And there's the taking care of yourself physically, emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually. Because these changes that you're making and these changes the Lord's making, he cares about your character. And I truly believe the Lord is working on her and myself individually to heal from the things in the relationship and then bring it back together. But yeah, set boundaries, follow the guidance of the Holy Spirit, speak to the Lord all day, and focus on yourself, make the changes for yourself, because regardless of the outcome, if my wife came to me and said, I don't want this, I'm done with you 100%. I don't believe that to be the case. But I'm saying, if she did, you can't just be like, okay, I give it up, because then your changes were just for her and they were just temporary. The Lord is in my heart. The Lord is in my life, and he's the most important thing to me. And I will take him with me. He will always be with me regardless of the situation. And I just can't wait for that day that I'm reconciled to my family and that we live a Christ-centered life. So yeah, I know this video is all over the place. But yeah, I wanted to get it in before the Super Bowl, because I know when the Super Bowl ends, I got to travel back here and work is in the morning. So here's my daily update for day 39. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. God bless.